Did you get the MP3 file I just emailed you?
Once I analyze this recording of Elizabeth's phone call, I should be able to triangulate her position, which in turn should bring you closer to finding her.
Damn it. Is that a state trooper?
Is it? Is he pulling us over?
No. I think he's pulling someone else over. Yeah. We're okay.
So do you mean what you say? Are you gonna help me?
Did you find anything?
Not the cards. Come on, could you please get me a chess set? Rock climbing magazines? Something?
The dead man's hand. In case you forgot how much money you're trying to extort.
Well, it's a good number. Meant a lot to dear old Dad.
He loved you, Jerry.
He loved you more. Oh, come on. Yeah. Don't deny it. We all adored you. Yeah, you were the best of us, Jax. And we wanted you to have a charmed life, you know? Even if it meant cutting a few corners along the way. You weren't supposed to know how bad he was. And when you found out, wasn't a surprise that Dad put the blame on me and cut me loose. He wanted you to retain the illusion that he was a good man.
Why can't you let him rest in peace? What does terrorizing innocent people have to do with our father?
I intended to steal the dead man's hand back from John Jax. But, as luck would have it, somebody had beat me to it.
You didn't have the cards anymore?
No. And without them, he was just as broken as my dad. So I offered my services as a psychiatrist, and Jane Jax accepted immediately. I think she was glad to have someone from back home.
So you actually worked with John?
We barely started when he insisted on traveling to Arizona to try some holistic treatment. But while there, he had another setback. And Jane asked me to fly to the nearest town, Brisbane, to continue with treatment. By then, he'd been hospitalized. And not for any obvious ailment. He'd simply lost the will to live.
So you started out seeking revenge. But you ended up helping John, didn't you?
No. Far from it.
What did I do? I have money. A lot of people in this town have money. Jerry wants money. Let's give him the money. Let's make this whole thing end.
What's the matter with you, huh? Beyond the obvious. What kind of message are you sending? You poison our water supply. We'll give you millions of dollars. You'll have every crackpot in the country doing the same
at least
stunts.
I'm doing something. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. That's your strategy.
That's what you're
gonna
coming
do
up
nothing.
with? Hey. Are you okay? You sure?
Sam, what's your take on this? Don't you think we have to give Jerry money?
Stop.
I know you don't like me right
Stop,
now, okay?
Please. My throat is raw. My body hurts everywhere.
Yeah.
I have one hell of a headache.
Exactly. You want the headaches to get worse? Or we raise the money, we give it to Jerry before we all wind up in the ground.
Oh, that's lovely.
What is it?
Church bells chiming on the hour from the south.
How do you know they're coming from the south?
Well, there's only one church within possible driving distance that has that kind of carol on. St. Mary's Church in the woods near Bell Forest.
How do you even know that? Never mind. You said south. Keep going.
All right, by altering frequencies just so, it is clear that Elizabeth is roughly 1.8 miles north of the chapel, and that's based on the sound of the rocks.
What rocks?
Being hauled from a quarry like the one on 123 east of Fieldston.
But what if 1.8 miles north of St. Mary's is just where Elizabeth made the call and they kept driving?
You mean tell me, if you didn't help Jax's father, what did you do?
Seeing Jax with his father was like seeing myself when I was a kid. Watching my own father die.
Dad. You gotta listen to Dr. Keenan, okay? He's here to help you. You just gotta hold on a little longer while I find those cards for you. And then everything's gonna be okay. I promise.
I heard that Jax was gonna get those cards back.
The man was already dying. Don't you care about anything besides revenge?
I think our father would be proud that his cards inspired my asking price.
I really don't think so, really.
You know, that man put more faith in the dead man's hands than he did anyone or anything else. So by putting faith into it too, I'm honoring our
You could have honored him by showing up on his deathbed. He asked for you. You know that, right?
He He asked and I was there. Right there. I saw you at his bedside making promises that you couldn't keep.
I promised Dad I'll find the dead man's hand and bring it back to you. And I'll get you better. You just gotta hold on a little longer, okay? Dr. Keenan.
Yes, Mr. Jackson.
I know this might sound crazy, especially to a psychiatrist, but my father believes that his life depends on something called the dead man's hand.
He mentioned it, yes, I'm familiar.
Okay, good. I'm getting very close to finding it, and I promised my dad that I would bring it to him. I just need you to help him hold on to hope until I return.
No, of course. And I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure he gets the best care he deserves.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You passed me in the hall and you didn't recognize me because I'd already changed my face.
You were there and you didn't tell me?
Why would I?
Because I needed your help. We could have tracked those cards down together, Jerry.
Why would I do that? Because I was the one who stole them in the first place.
It wasn't just about revenge, Elizabeth. It was about honor.
And honor compelled you to seek revenge against a man who was literally on his deathbed?
I promised my dad that I would make the man who ruined his life pay. I was finally going to be able to keep that promise. My whole life had led me to this one moment. And I finally had John Jax's life in my hands. This is for what you did to my father.
Hey, what's that you're giving him?
Don't tell me you killed Jax's father. Please tell me Jerry stopped you.
Lieutenant 911 is swamped with people calling in saying they're starting to get sick, and there's a huge crowd outside that's demanding to know what GH and the PCPD are planning on doing about the situation, sir.
Tell the press the doctors at GH are working with the CDC to develop a cure. Go.
Oh, yeah, a whole city of sick people is going to accept that as a solution. How about you, Sam? Does that work for you?
I just don't want Jerry to get what he wants, that's all.
So that we're going to die? It's just money. We give him money. It's not even your money.
Pay him. You'll end up with nothing, and you have copycats from here to Tuesday, all right? While the doctors are isolating a counteragent, we're going to find the one that Jerry Jax already has.
Okay. You have any clue where that is?
You stole the cards?
Oh, not by myself. AJ Quartermain helped.
You knew how much those stupid cards meant to Dad.
Right. I was the one who was left out in the cold. Remember? Huh? I took the fall for Dad's misdeeds. So I think I'm entitled to little compensation.
Losing those cards broke him, Jerry. He lost the will to live because of you.
I think you might want to drop this, little brother, if you don't want to get your heart broken.
You son of a bitch. You killed our father.
No, Jax. You did.
It was too late for Jerry to stop me. But he did surprise me in more ways than one.
Excuse me, what are you doing in here? Only family members are allowed in here.
I am family. That's my father. And I just saw you injecting him with something that's going to kill him.
No, that's just something to help him sleep.
Right, a sedative for what the bastard did to your father. I know this drug. It's a slow-acting one that makes it appear that my father's going to die. A natural death. It'll take a while, but you just killed him.
No, I was just treating
I could raise the alarm. Maybe they could revive him, but I think it's unlikely. He's already too weak. I must loathe this, lying there, useless. I know my father. He would rather be dead. And that's fortunate for you, Doctor. I won't report the murder you just committed. It'll be our little secret. And I'll use it.
You killed Jerry's father.
Hey, where'd you go? Had to get my gun.
Right. It's true what you said before. My analysis of the phone call will only tell us where Elizabeth was when she made the call. but I'm hoping that's enough for you to find her.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Spinelli.
It's my understanding that the Port Charles Airport is closed until further notice, so it may take me a while to journey home.
There's a quarantine. There's no way you can get back here if you wanted to.
But I do want to, very much. I want to be with my friends.
Don't worry. I'll call you when this is over.
So that's what Jerry had over you. You killed his father.
Yeah, he was blackmailing me, forcing me to do whatever he asked. And I've done some unforgivable things.
Like what? Ewan, tell me, we're running out of time. What else did Jerry make you do?
It's enough that you know I murdered a man. I can't tell you anymore.
You have to. Jerry said we would start to die after we started showing symptoms.
I don't care if I die. I just wish I could have saved you. And now, I've got to go and make this right.
How? By shooting Jerry?
Surely the situation in Port Charles isn't as dire as the MyFace posts would lead us to believe.
Listen, do you have any idea where
Tear it apart if you have to. Tell me what you find.
Do you have any idea where Jerry has the antidote?
I'll call you back. Shut up, Manning.
Fine. You stay here, you do nothing. You be noble and righteous and dead.
Make sure he doesn't get back in. How you feeling? You okay?
You didn't answer him. Do you have any idea where Jerry put the counteragent?
It depends. Do you know where those cards are?
I killed our father.
I was trying to save him, Jerry.
Come on, you were so desperate that you put all your faith in that psychiatrist, the Lady Jane Hyde. The one, who was just supposed to shrink his depression, remember? Dr. Ewan Keenan.
I knew that name. He was one of Dad's doctors.
And his executioner.
No, I'm not going to shoot Jerry. I'm going to force him to give me the counteragent, and then I'll bring it back for you.
What if you don't make it back in time? Just take me with you.
I don't want you anywhere near Jerry Jacks. Listen, Elizabeth, no matter what happens, okay, please know that I care about you, and I swear I'm going to prove it to you by finding... Hey!
Jason!
Get back or I'll shoot!